Welcome to We Don't Even Know. So we're just hanging out here after the new year. I personally had just traveled to Italy and have just been waiting in this room for quite a long time for our hosts of We Don't Even Know. Since January 1st, I've just been hanging out basically in this room with my bottle of water and waiting for the show because, as you guys know, this is our 99th show. Probably one of the most important shows because now we can count down. We can have 99 we don't even knows on the wall and count down from that. So I'm not even sure if we're live yet, but we could be. Maybe it'll start live at the exact time, and then this is just a void that nobody will hear. It's just a tree falling in the woods. So that's good. And it's a tree falling in the woods with Shanali laughing around it.
Shanali, we can hear you on mute. You're not supposed to be before the show.
No, I left my mute off so I could be the background.
We've done this 99 times and you still don't get it.
Voices in my head.
Let
my laugh track.
Go on mute. Go on
mute. Hey everybody, I think we're waiting for the show to still go live. Been having a countdown, but you might hear me mid-sentence when we do go live. No, I'll just wait.
Oh, you're live now, intern. You're live.
Oh, no, we are live. See? There's all these voices in my head telling me different things. You know, we're live. You have to wake up now. Whatever and whatnot. But, we're just waiting for this 99th show to happen at 8 p.m. I've been waiting, like I said, for a long time, since about January 1st. And, here we are. And guess who we can welcome? If you guys have your drinks ready, get them up to totes, our lovely hosts. The people that we've been waiting for all year, Christian Felix and Shanali Bohmick.
Oh man, I get this first, Justin. What introduction! What kind of
2022?
What kind of phrases? What not? Where around? What did you say? That must be a Minnesotan phrase or something. I don't even know.
I have no idea when we started live, so I don't know what was said.
Thank you for your pre-show. You had a lot of disruptions with Shanali.
I think Justin actually brought us in perfectly for 2022. He said he had voices in his head. I mean, I feel the same way. It's like, where are we? What are we doing? Who is happening? What's on second? What is the whole? Where are we? I am personally in my apartment, which I have to say I did not expect to be here today. So I'm pleasantly surprised that I am in my abode, and we'll discuss that later. But Christian, where are you?
I'm in the WDEK Zoom cocoon, and I am ready to sing our song.
Well, we see that Justin is in his the palace, the studio palace that he's got, making really amazing films. Having a kid in the background somewhere, little Zachary.
Yeah, you can hear him, right? He woke up.
Yep. I can't wait to see him. And
I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn.
You guys ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. We can do it. We gotta start the show.
You're upside down.
Right.
Like that protest sign. Here we go. One, two.
We don't even know. We don't even know. With Christian Felix, Shanali Bohmick, and Justin the intern. We don't even know. We don't even know. We don't even know. With Christian Felix, Shanali Bohmick, and Justin the intern. We don't even know. Woo! Yes, 2022. Let's do it.
Getting better, Shanali. 99
song-
times, and
I keep thinking that the louder I say, let's do this 2022, that it will make it better. I'm not sure it's working.
I mean, I kind of feel the same way about our song.
I think it gets better each time. I get more
Yeah.
excited singing
Well,
it.
Yeah,
Justin, beauty
guys-
is the eye of the beholder.
all of
Well,
you out
it's
there.
an indication of good times coming ahead.
That's right. And on that note, I just want to say Happy New Year to all of you out there, our beloved friends, fans. You're here with us on the 99th episode of a monthly show called We Don't Even Know. We started way before any of you started your podcast. That is the truth. If you did start your podcast before we did, I don't believe you. I just don't believe you.
Way to put that
Um,
stake in the ground.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, other than I think Mark Maron, there are just very few podcasts that have existed for that long and started in that time frame.
Well, Shanali, if I had to do podcasts for 99 months, I mean, when you put it that way, it almost sounds like a prison sentence. But if I had to choose anyone to do and fulfill that sentence of 99 months, it would be with you.
Oh,
What a way
I'm
with
so
words.
touched. You know what? And when you put it that way, 99 months, everybody. That's like
Yeah.
that sounds like a prison sentence. So it's like
Yeah.
a really serious prison sentence.
Yeah, that's a
You did
maximum to
something
life.
right.
Yeah.
99.
Couldn't even get
And-
parole. Couldn't even get parole. You know what I mean?
So when you put it like that, I take it as a big compliment, Christian. I thank you so much. I agree. I couldn't have done it without you both, Justin the intern and Christian
you.
Felix, especially in these past 2 years. So I love you all. And, I just want to start this show out with a bang. I want to share with the world what I have been dealing with in 2022. It started out, it was a good night. New Year's Day was spent with Christian Felix. I was here. I made some chicken pot pie. He
Ooh.
came over. He was free of COVID. We were free of COVID. It was just Jasper, Christian, myself, and we played a drag race card game that was a non-game, but we still had a good time.
Yeah. I would be like, put game in air quotes. You know what I mean?
It was so crazy. But we really did, and it was a time where, again, this Omicron has taken over our country. New York City apparently is having a little bit of a reduction in numbers, but this is obviously a very serious time for COVID in our country. Once again, another month we have to deal. But I have something you guys could laugh at, and I'm going to share it with you right now. This time last week, Sunday night, before this last one, we had an amazing time in my apartment, and I wanted to share with you the fun that I have. Christian, Justin, I am going to share my screen and share this amazing time that I had with Jasper. It was quite something I think that you guys will love. I'm going in, Jazzy.
40.
One of the 3 rooms that is leaking in our apartment. I got my rain slicker on. Singing in the rain, just singing in the flood. What a wonderful feeling in New York City. Freaking raining in your bathroom, in your apartment. All in every room.
Oh.
Woo!
Ooh.
How are these pots going?
Oh my God!
This bucket is full, Jasper. You get this? Look at this one. Look at this. That's a bucket.
What?
Gross.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
like
look at
gross
that.
water.
That had been like
This room.
the 4th time of that.
How's the other rooms doing? Uh-oh, wait, let's
Yep.
get this one.
Don't
going.
miss this. Uh-huh.
Now every little pot,
God.
every part.
Okay.
Now, how are we doing? Got this pot. Oh my God, this one.
This is my
Oh
bedroom.
my God.
This is my bedroom. You hear that?
There, you can deal because that's pretty big.
Oh.
Yeah, New York, let's do this! 2022!
Oh man, guys, it is not what I was expecting. I was sitting down, I was watching a movie, the SAG screeners are coming. We were watching a movie, we were 10 minutes into it, had a little wine, and then we hear just pouring through one of the light fixtures. So that was coming through light fixtures where there aren't even leaks, because that was just water on our ceiling that came from 2 stories up from a frozen pipe that burst via a neighbor who doesn't use the heater. So the heater, anyway.
Chanelli,
I'm okay. I'm
that's
okay.
the most important thing. You were singing through that ridiculous high stress situation, so it seemed like you kept your spirits up.
You know, I don't even know. Sometimes I watch that video and I'm like, why am I watching this? And why am I putting myself back through that?
It's a little
I
early.
don't know.
Well,
It
to
was
remember that you made it through it, and that it could. I mean, when it's something that it's like that's traumatic. What you just went. That's some trauma. Are you kidding? To get your place wet like that in the middle of a pandemic where you only are? Are you kidding? Woo!
Thank you. So that is to say that our ceilings on half of our apartment have not been repaired yet. We're dealing with that. I want to thank you, Christian, because you shared with me so kindly after your bike got stolen months ago, the renter's insurance that you use. I had let mine expire and I purchased that last month.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful for that. So if there's any tip that we can share with you about 2022, you still don't know what the hell is going to happen. If you don't have to take risks and you can afford it, get Lemonade. Lemonade, I hope Lemonade, pays me something for this ad. But Lemonade, it's a nonprofit, a renter's insurance. So that's what, I mean, it's
Oh,
exceptional.
really?
And
Yeah, it's great. It's really great. You know, Chanelli, I think that's a perfect example of how 2 people, you and I, friends, talk a lot, talked about something, and we reached a consensus, like an agreement. Oh, you ran out of insurance, homeowner insurance. There's another alternative. Really? Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, okay. That sounds great. So that to me is an example of communication where I'm in sync with somebody. And
yes.
The last show that we had, which was back in 2021, which I was happy to say bye to, but now 2022, we're still dealing with the same old, same old. Anyway, my sister, my twin, was on the show. And during that episode, I felt like we had some twinergy. That's what they call like twin.
Who are they?
I just made that up right now. Twinergy. Actually, that's my idea. Like, don't take
Copyright.
Twinergy. And that's what is synergy between my sister and myself, because we're twins. And I felt it during that podcast, like really felt in Congress there. I get to Chicago for the holidays. All our plans get canceled because of COVID. So it's just my mom, my sister, and me for the most part. My sister gets to the house. Hello. Okay, let's do it. We're going to do Scrabble. We're going to watch movies. We're going to cook. We're going to get into it. And, what are you doing after this? Well, I think I'm going to head right back to New York and, bunker down. We're in the middle of another breakout, another variant. Everybody's getting COVID. What are you going to do, twin? Oh, I'm going to go on a cruise. I'm sorry. Come again? Oh, yeah, like a Carnival cruise, but they're not going to be that many people on the boat because it's going to be only half. So only about like 2,000 people. I had a conversation like the one Chanelli described about renter's insurance about COVID. I said, well, Jules, I wouldn't really do a cruise in normal times, but you do you. I get it. You go on the cruise, but we're in the middle of a pandemic and like they're saying not go on cruise, that don't do the cruise. well, Christian, I'm going to do the cruise, right? So I had to get
No.
to a point where I'm like, she's an
No.
adult. Like, clearly we don't got that twinergy going on. I don't know what the opposite is of that, but it's like non-twinergy. And she left the day that the CDC announced, don't do that. Don't go on cruises.
What?
So, you know what?
What?
She made it back. She made it back. She's safe. She didn't get COVID, but she knows it.
Good.
And, you know, so I guess,
Jeez.
but I think that represents like various different camps in terms of where people are at right now in terms of the pandemic. Like the New York State just, you know, a judge ruled wearing masks indoors is unconstitutional. And so that the New York government's going to appeal that. But I think my sister represents just like people are super fatigued about this thing, not really worried also about Omicron because it's not going to kill them. And I'm still at a
But
place.
it is.
Well, I'm still at a place myself where I still just don't want to get it. I'm not going to blame myself if I do, but I don't really want to get it. So, twin, if you're out there, I love you. That you're safe and
You
sound.
guys.
I hope that we can find our twinergy again.
Woo, that story also just stressed me out. Like that is, I cannot imagine being on a cruise ship. Right? Oh my God! It's just, whew. Okay, we're taking
Made it
deep
back,
breaths
though.
now. She made it back. I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad she made it. I just want to real quick point out the fact that in actuality, yes, based on percentage numbers, perhaps it's a lower rate of death percentage wise, but since so many people are catching it, there are still over 2,000 people dying every day. Another thing to stress you out. So we're going to quickly change the subject, but I just want to be, accurate in what we're saying and what we're sharing. We're here because we do like to have fun and we do like to laugh and we do like to meet awesome people. So we have another amazing guest with us tonight. Very excited to have her here. And she is here all the way from Los Angeles. She's an actress, a writer, a stand-up comedian. She lives also, she's bi-coastal. I love saying that word, so I just want to say it as often as I can. It's good vibes when I hear bi-coastal. I feel like, there's a breeze that's
Good
going
vibes
back
when I
and
hear
forth.
buy anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, good. Yeah, yes. Her name is Subhah Agarwal, and here she is. Let's hear it for Subhah. Woo!
Make room.
Down and turn.
Yes!
Bi-coastal extraordinaire.
Yes!
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Oh my gosh, Subhah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I hope that we didn't stress you out by our opening stories because I am now needing to breathe deeply and I feel like this is the beginning of the show actually. Seeing your lovely smile and talking to you about good things like that lei. Is that a lei or is that a real plant behind you?
No, that's dollar store flowers.
They're beautiful.
Oh,
Dollar store did you go to?
those are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. There's a Dollar General across the street from us. It's the best. It's the absolute best.
They bring joy. My mom has fake flowers interspersed with all her real live plants throughout her house. And it just totally throws you off. And she's got a great green thumb, but you're like, oh my God, that's a crazy plant, that red flower with this blah, blah, blah. They've just really upped the game in fake flowers. These days are really beautiful. And you've just inspired me. So
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Wow. I like that your mom did that. Deception. I love that.
Subhah, how long have you been bi-coastal? You've been doing it for a while?
For a long time, because I moved to LA for a writing job, but I've always been super attached to New York. So even as soon as the writing gig wrapped, I would instantly move back to New York. And then people think being bi-coastal is oh, you're super glamorous. You have 2 super nice apartments. I was living out of 2 suitcases. It was bad. So I would sublet and then just move all of my shit. Anything that didn't fit in 2 suitcases, I didn't have. So it was bad.
Totally. Like, so there's a such, like, Shonali's kind of spoke to it, like this romanticized idea of like being bi-coastal and, like going back and forth, the idea. And we have other friends that we've been in periods of our life where we've done that as well. And so, yeah, I mean, the reality of it can sometimes feel more like a grind, I guess, right?
Yes, I am old and I am tired and I want to sit down.
Now, at this point, do you have, like, barring other factors, just considering the city themselves, do you feel yourself gravitating towards one or the other right now? Because, both cities have kind of responded to the pandemic in like different ways. They both have like various issues that people are attributing to the pandemic. So I'm just curious, you're spending time in both places. What's your sense of like preferences or vibes?
Oh, I mean, I've already had Omicron. I got it after I was boosted and I still got it. And I was like, so at this point, I'm like, what pandemic? I'm like, what else? What else you got for me, buddy? Like, I have all the immunity, like, until the next variant comes.
Right.
You do.
I have all the
that
things.
in both apartments. Yeah. That is a thing, which I do know people that think too, that as we're going to have a guest who's coming on here after you who has had COVID twice. He does not want it again. So it is a thing.
Yeah, and my trainer had got COVID twice too. Yeah. So most certainly.
Oh, yeah. I don't want it. I don't want it at all.
No, we don't want it. We don't want it. But you got it. So you've been performing in like live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was like relieved I was boosted and had it, because I'm like, I'm a little less stressed out like doing comedy shows, because like comedy is just everyone's breathing on each other. Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah. So like, what do you feel is like the biggest difference between like performing pre-COVID and like in COVID? Is it just like a matter of like it's more stressful in COVID, or do you see any like pluses as like they're less like idiots in the audience, or like I don't know? Like,
No.
Plenty of stupid people get vaccinated.
No, but I mean attending your shows.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is you have to be vaxxed to attend the shows, right. And like
so there are less.
Yeah, so I mean there is some drama, and then depending on the venues, like some ticket sales have been hit pretty hard. So like a lot of shows do get postponed or canceled. So like that's that always sucks, for the venue and for like performers. Although sometimes I'm like, is it the pandemic? They're like, oh, nobody's here, it's COVID. I'm like, is it COVID? Because I did this show 3 years ago and there was also nobody here.
Damn.
Exactly. Well, speaking of comedy and your comedy career, and I know you've been asked this a million times, but like, how did it happen? What happened? What was the transition where like, I'm going to get on stage and my parents are never going to understand what I'm doing? Like, what? Yeah. How did that transpire?
So it's kind of like a weird story, because initially we grew up in a very white suburb, and then I didn't fit in at all. And then my parents were like, just go out and we don't know what to do with you. Go make friends, right? And then so I became like, didn't know shit about Indian culture, because I was like trying to learn about like, I don't know, the Rolling Stones or whatever the fuck. Like I didn't know, I was trying to figure out what was going on. And then they moved us to a suburb that had a ton of Indian kids in it, and they hated me because I didn't know shit. They were like, you don't know what state the Taj Mahal's in? I was like, I don't know what state we're in. Like, this is public school. I'm very dumb. Like, relax,
This is so funny, because I'm thinking as a fellow Indian girl who grew up in predominantly white spaces, and then when with Indian folks, you couldn't help but be like, oh, you do not think, or do you not know you're Indian? You know what I mean? Like, if you met someone that was like, why do you not know these things? So anyway,
I kind of relate to that as well, because I grew up with my white family, so I am part white. So that's a little different than your stories, in the sense that I actually, part of my identity is part of that predominantly white space, and part of my identity is Haitian, and people perceive me though as only one of those things, right?
Yeah.
And my identity, anyway, it's not about that. The point is that when I went to high school, I encountered like a lot of Black students that lived in Black neighborhoods, and it was the same thing of like, you're talking like a foreign language, right? Like you don't have any of our references, you don't have any. So that tracks with me. Where in the Midwest did you grow up?
Both places were suburbs of Chicago. So like
okay,
we went.
I'm from Chicago, so.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, Evanston and Deerfield.
Oh wow! Okay, that's like very close to where Mundelein was the first one.
Oh, I know Mundelein.
Mundelein and then Hawthorne Woods, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you got to a second neighborhood.
We stopped you in the middle of your track.
But it was like at that moment there was an Indian comic, Russell Peters, who went like viral. I think for like one of the first times viral was a thing. And like all the Indian kids were passing around his clips. So I was like, oh, if I could be like Russell, the Indian kids will like me. And also I was like super unpopular. I didn't know how to talk to people. I was fucking weird. Like people are like, it's not fair, I got bullied. I'm like, no, you were correct. I was bizarre.
I've never heard a person describe themselves as bizarre. This is so funny. I wish do you have any videos of yourself?
If I do, I will literally burn all of them. I was so embarrassing. I just didn't know how to like talk or like riff or like it was because I had really bad social anxiety and I was like bullied a lot when I was a kid, so I just didn't know or understand. So even like my first conversations I had with friends were like planned out in my head. I'd be like, I'm going to tell them this story and this story and this story when I started getting into comedy. So I'd have like a set list for walking down the hallway, which is insane. You know?
Like, oh my god! I want to give you a hug. I want to give the little.
I know. I
would have been your friend. I would have helped you.
I got adopted by a youth group that ended up being like, oh, you don't have any friends? Come hang out with us.
So when did you actually convert like those like coping set lists to actual like set lists? Like,
well, see, that was like happening at the same time because I that was when I was 16, so I didn't know I could get on stage that young. So I was just writing jokes, writing stories, doing all of this. And then at 17, I think it was like my world history teacher or something was like trying to act all cool in front of his students. He was not. He was trying so hard. And he was talking about how he went to this open mic while he was like leaning on the chalkboard. And then he mentioned it was all ages. And I was like, wait, you can do stand-up at 17? And so that was the first time I got to perform, was after a year of just like being in my room and writing jokes and stuff.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
You were 17.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And then you've never stopped. So that's like, that has been, you can't say that it happened by accident. Like you had an intention, you went out to do it, and you have not stopped. And now, I mean, at this point, so you've been writing on shows too, right? Are you writing right now?
No, I was a few months ago, but right now, no.
Oh, way to bum her out, Shanelle. Okay, you're not writing. Hey, you can come back here and do shows. I have better questions for you. You have other things going on other than comedy and stuff. You got personal stuff going on. You're a fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how is COVID impacting your nuptials? Are you having to delay? And I guess, you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but like in terms of ceremony, do you have like a thought about what kind of ceremony it's going to be? And
oh yeah, for sure. And then like, that's just as a side note, before I say that about the writing thing, I totally quit my old job just to focus on other things, which may have been a mistake, but I'm like, we're all gonna die anyway. So whatever. But yes,
that's what the Great Resignation is about. When anyone gets depressed about it, I'm like, people don't want to do things they don't want to do. Like, why? You could be dead tomorrow. Yeah, and I
was like,
most people are exploited to no end anyway. And if you're exploited and making no money doing something you don't like, why not be broke and do things you do love?
Yeah. We'll see how I feel in literally a few months. But
yeah, I'm right there with you. So just so you know. Yeah.
And then in terms of the wedding, it's going to be an Indian wedding. My fiance is white, but his dad was like a Buddhist priest, so he doesn't have a ton of ceremony things he wants. He's like, we're not standing in robes and shit. Like, he didn't care about any. He has some like. He has some like southern, because he was like. Because he would just talk about his dad doing these ceremonies in like these traditional Buddhist robes, but he was like a big, older, like white gentleman from like Georgia, like in these, and like how he kept almost falling and shit.
That was so diplomatic the way you're talking about your father-in-law. He was a fat dude from Georgia. You're like, he was a larger, portly gentleman from United States of Georgia.
But it was just like hard to, you know, make those Buddhist robes work. But he's not like trying to carry into any of that. He has some like southern things he wants to do, like like be like a groom's table, like just little things. And like the music is going to be part Indian and then part American, because he wants some American songs mixed in there for sure. But yeah, other than that, it's going to be straight Indian. And then
from my experience,
I love that.
I went to Shani's wedding. It was a blend of various different influences and very cool and unique. But I've been to other more traditional types of ceremonies and experiences, and they tend to really kind of run the gamut from kind of more what we consider like larger weddings, like 100, 200 people, to like a village, like a lot. You have any sense of kind of how your
better question ahead. Who asked who, or did someone ask the other? How did that go down?
That is a good question.
He asked me, and then I don't remember how marriage ended up getting brought up, or it was probably my parents when they met him. But so he brought it up, and then he had me pick out a ring at the beginning of the pandemic, and then he's like, "Oh, but I can't propose in a pandemic. We can't go anywhere." And then the pandemic just kept going, and then we both forgot what ring I wanted, so I had to go back and do it again. And at this point, I'm like furious, and I don't know why he did this. This is like, he's sick in the head. He had my mom bother me about him. She's like, so just because he didn't want me to catch on that they had made plans, so he had my mom call me and try to pressure me to get him to propose. Like, he arranged for her to. I was like, what the?
That's amazing! Wow,
leave it to a white man to tear a brown family apart.
Oh, wow. Well, at least you're getting it out early. You know, get in front of that before you actually say,
oh my God,
have that conversation with the white man you about to marry.
Oh my God, I married a white man, you know, and ours, it was not similar in that, well, he's not from the South. I am from the South. So therefore I asked. It's like much more
I love
traditional.
that.
And in many ways, I didn't ask. I was just like, you know, after many years of being like, I will never be married, you know, I was like, I just remember going, why not? Why not? And so I just sort of said, you know, this would be awesome for mom and dad, if anything. At the least, we'll have a great, fun party. And guess who loves it more than anyone? He does. I mean, I think it's great, but just so, you know, it's so exciting. That's awesome. So are you going to do
happening
it
in 2022?
Yeah, it is. 'Cause that's the thing. It's like, I would like to delay it. I tried to use the pandemic. I was like, oh, maybe we should put this off till next year. And my mom was like, no. And I was like, Jesus Christ. She wants the wedding done ASAP. Luckily, there wasn't anything available until like the end of October. So at least we have a little bit of time.
That's coming up. Well, congratulations about that.
Thank you.
We're nearing our time with you. But are you a type of person that likes to do resolutions for like the new year or anything like that? Is that something that
I mean, I had one, but I haven't I haven't
then we definitely need to know what it is. We definitely need to know what that is.
I mean, like, you know, I'm in LA, I'm very shallow. I go to the gym, and I was like, but I don't put any effort into my mental health because you can't see it. So I was like, I should meditate a few times a week. Just meditate, maybe write down something I'm grateful for, so I'm not such a psychopath out in the world. And I've not done it. I paid for a meditation app, and that is all.
That's the first step. But what you said is pretty profound. What you said is pretty profound. You go to the gym because that's what people kind of can see and react to. But the mental health is the more invisible thing. And do we pay as much? You gave me something to think about.
Yes, you inspired me too. I have an app, 10% Happier. I do love that app.
Oh, nice.
But I have not stuck to the plan. I have not stuck to the plan. And ultimately, the mental part is probably one of the hardest parts of life in the past 2 years. So,
well, while I'm not Indian and while I'm not married to a white man, I too have not my plan about meditation. So we 3 peas in a pod with that one.
Yes.
Well, Subhah, are you going to be back in New York and start doing live? Because you do live. You're always performing all the time. It's so awesome. Well, we'll come see you.
Oh, thank you.
We will make sure we share all your socials with all of our fans and our friends. And thank you so much for being with us.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah. And congrats to your man and congrats to you and have a
thank
wonderful
you.
wedding. Yeah, if we don't see you before that. Okay.
Well,
I'll
send you my address so you can just send me the wedding invite. So good. I'll find a place to sit. We're good.
I'll be his plus one.
Shirt I can wear.
Yeah. Indian weddings are awesome. Just
I know.
They're very fun.
That's why come on, let's do it.
You're on the hook, Subhah.
All right, see you later.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh man. Well, this show, it's moving right along. Shanali, I know
that made me happy thinking about a wedding, and her wedding especially. That just lifted my mood, which is what I needed. This is what I needed.
Can I offer you something else to lift your mood right now, Shanali?
Yes. Oh yeah.
It's a piece that I've been collaborating on. And I think that you would find interesting. And I think I'll just play it right now for you. Right now, it's a collab I've been working on.
Oh, cool. You've been working on this.
Share with you a collab that I'm working on for you with Adele. Because of COVID, things got delayed. I just wanted to give you a taste. I'm just so proud of both of you. There ain't no way with a baby that your days are ever going to stay the same. But you can't deny in this life that it's so worth the try, even when the baby might do or cry, or do or cry at the same time, and it's not gonna be easy on you.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. That was so good. I mean, I'm not having a baby. I just hope everyone knows that I'm not having a baby. That was like,
your name's not Peter and your name's not Patrick. We all good.
Woo! That was for your cousin, right? Well, that's amazing.
Honestly, it was Adele's idea for her show in Las Vegas, and we were preparing for me to, head out there, and it's about a family thing. She thought it was a nice little story for her. It all got canceled, but yes, I performed that and prepared it for Peter and Patrick, his husband, and they are having a baby. Well, they're getting a baby.
I had no idea you had such a great voice, Christian.
Oh, well, Adele's been coaching me. So, when you have a teacher like that, it helps,
And that frenetic part when you're going back and forth.
It's the tip of the iceberg, but hey, thank you.
You've been holding back. I appreciate you
sharing. Spirits.
You just did. Thank you so much for that. You just did. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop singing with that song. That's addictive. You just got me addicted. I'm stuck. I am stuck. Woo, okay. Yes. That helps. That's 2022, everybody. Christian's got a voice. He's got a new goatee. He's got a song that he's putting out. Things are changing here. I've got a water damaged apartment. Things are really looking up. 2022. But they are seriously looking up. We just got to talk to Subhah Agarwal, which was so wonderful. Thank you so much, Subhah, for being with us. And now we get to talk to another guest. Is like a star. He is an actor. He is a writer. He is like, I mean, he even helped direct my friend Katina Correo's solo show a few years ago. He does so many things. And you may have seen him on so many shows, but like in the movie Spotlight, in the show Only Murders in the Building, is Dexter, Orange is the New Black. We could go on. Let's just spend two hours talking about his credits. But no, instead, we're going to have him here with us. His name is Michael Cyril Creighton, and here he is. Woo, Michael! Let's hear it for Michael. Come bring you to our show.
Sorry, I was watching you on YouTube, and I had to close.
Well, we love that too.
I will say, I almost texted Katina, and I was like, "Is Shonali pregnant?" Because I got confused by the song. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know, but I feel like I would have known that." But the song
would have
beautiful.
seen that. Something would have told you that.
Yeah, especially when we were doing shots together at that Christmas party. It definitely would be.
I really did love the song, though. That part was the best part. They're like, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it was really good.
Thank you.
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year. The beginning of the show did stress me out. I can't believe.
Right?
Michael, is that? Can you believe it?
I don't know. Well, first of all, what I don't believe is that you were going through that and you're like, da 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 da, so happy, and like doing the video. I'd be like, get the camera off me, I'll rip your throat open, get out of here. I would not be able to do it. I could not believe how happy you were.
Michael, in that moment, that was like me having to like reach and grab for something else, because the energy with and we were calm, but we were very aggressively direct with each other. It would be like, Jasper would be like, would you get the bucket that's over? I am putting the phone over here to get this. Would you get, like, we were very calm, but relatively not happy. I mean, I'm just going to say.
I'm not yelling at you, but could you give me a minute?
So then it was like, when it was just, I kept walking into these rooms, putting buckets, and I had this nice cashmere sweater, and it's like there was no thought, and that's when I was like, okay, rain slicker, let's like, this is really happening, and I know that someone will enjoy this footage. So thank you for noticing.
You're welcome.
So you if you're dealing with real drama, Michael, it sounds like you're dealing with it, and if someone's like has the camera on you, you're like, especially your partner, like,
I'm like barely dealing with it.
There. Okay, so that my question is like, but you deal with like contrived, like heavy stuff through like roles that you take on and like some of the stuff that you're dealing with. And do you find yourself kind of carrying that off set, or like you more have like a line of like, that's my day job, that's my like, and I'm cool once I leave like the sound stage or like whatever?
Yeah, no, I don't usually carry it off set. I would say Spotlight was a hard one to shake for like years to come. I would say it took a little while to like shake that one, but no, I'm pretty good at letting it go. I wasn't when I was in college. I used to remember I would do a play. Like I did a play where I got gay bashed in the play, and then you want to see like the most dramatic 20-year-old in the world. It was me after every show. I'd be like, I can't talk. It was very dark, and I would call it character bleeding because the character was like bleeding into my life. And I remember there was we had a talk back once with Judith Light. She was doing wit in Boston, where I went to college, and she did talk back at my college, and I raised my hand and I was like, this is a very difficult play you're doing. Do you experience character bleeding? And she was like, what? No. I had to like then explain what character bleeding was, which I think a teacher told me the term or something. So I was like, thought I was using it really correctly. And she's like, what is that? And I was like, it's like when you can't shake the character. I myself am playing a character right now. You're just nightmare talk back. And she was like, no. No. So I've grown out of that phase mostly.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. When you have those moments of reflecting back on yourself and like moments where you took yourself so seriously and knew that you were being brilliant at something, and now like having a new perspective, that makes me laugh on a daily basis. And I have moments like that.
I mean, when I look at myself, March 12th, 2020, and what I thought was important and how clueless I was to like the bigger picture in all ways. I am like, I feel like a completely, as I think we all do, like a completely different person 2 years from now. And of course I fall back into that like self-centered sort of, I'm the center of the universe sort of thinking, but then I'm like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that, and for you personally, like a lot of us have started to do different work, if not work during this pandemic, and you've been one of the few people that has seemingly consistently been working throughout this. And that also has to be, instead of like, it's not necessarily good space to be, it can be difficult, I think, in this time.
Yeah, it was difficult because in the middle of 2 jobs, I got COVID. Like this is my actually year anniversary of finding out I had COVID the second time.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm first of all able to see that I'm so lucky that I did work so much this year, but there's a whole bunch of new challenges. It's obviously it's so much different. Like you can't really, it's harder to get to know people. It's harder to make friends on set. And because everybody's like, hey, it's nice to meet you. Like you can't understand people sometimes when they're talking to you.
Right.
And then there's like the thought of like all of my friends, so many of my friends were not able to work. So many of my friends were in theater and theater just is devastated. So it was like a bittersweet sort of year. And I'm like incredibly grateful and feel so lucky that I got to work. But yeah, it was a weird year. Still a weird time.
Yeah, it's still so weird.
Speaking of work, I feel the same way as you do, just feeling fortunate that I've been able to have a job that allows me to do it from my home, and it hasn't been very disruptive to me, and I feel safe. But given the nature of your career and the choices that you have in respect to you, in terms of roles, do you have any criteria, like in terms of like, I'm going to take this role, or like, do you have any like hard and fast rules, or is it more just kind of like you get a feel of the project, you get a feel, or like I need to like make X amount of money? Like, is there any kind of like thing going through your mind around?
Well, I don't think I don't really have as much choice as people think. I would say I definitely auditioned for every single thing I've done. Mostly everything I've done, I've had to audition, but particularly this past year. And I will, if I don't, I'll usually make the decision if it's right for me before that point. So I'll read the script. And if I get a bad vibe, like, it's tricky because sometimes you just feel that you're just there to be the gay character and there's not much meat there. And sometimes, yes, I am willing to do that for the paycheck, and also because I think I can bring something to a role that's maybe not fleshed out as much. I can bring some like humanity or something there, but sometimes you can't, and sometimes it's offensive, and sometimes it's just not for me. So I'll pass before the audition if I really, really just get a feeling that it's not for me. If I'm questioning it, I'll give it a chance, and then also I also used to tend to type myself out of things, be like, oh, no one would take me seriously as this part. No one would believe that I would play this kind of guy or that kind of guy. And so many times I was wrong. Like, they'd either change the role for me. So I just try to like especially during this time, during the last, 2020 to 2021, I didn't say no to any auditions because I realized how lucky I was to be getting them. And I really needed to make a living. So I took them all. And when it was such a volume.
How do you feel about, so it sounds like, because I've talked to other actors that are like, kind of like in a similar space in terms of kinds of projects they do. And they're at this, like, kind of, they feel like they're at this point where they should not have to audition anymore. But it sounds to me like
I don't mind it.
You don't mind that part of the process.
I feel like at least right now, like, well, if it's like, okay, so like if it's like 3 lines in a movie and it's like obviously something I've done before a million times, I'll be like, because this should just be an offer. I don't want to audition for 3 lines because I have to like set up my whole room, put on my light. So that's like maybe I'll ask if that could be an offer, but it often is, mostly never is. But no, I like auditioning because it gives me, growing up the way I have, the need to prove myself, and like I need to know that I earned it in a way, and that everybody's happy with the choice they made before I get there. So I'm not like psyching myself out.
That's such a good mindset when it comes to a dynamic that I have found to be so stressful and vexing. And to have your kind of mindset, like, it really, you're setting yourself up for success. And the way that I'm hearing it is that you think it's like a necessary part of the process. So you don't mind doing it because it's doing something for you, in the sense that, like, you go through that process, you are chosen. It's like, I've done the things that I deserve to be here. So that strikes me.
It's really my, oh, sorry. No,
well, the other thing that strikes me, you can respond to that, and then I want to leave space for finale. The other thing that's really strikes me is what you said around being cast in respect to gay characters and how much depth they have if it's only stereotypes. And what I wanted to ask you is, you've been in the industry for some time, you've been doing theater, you've been doing TV, etc., film. Have you experienced kind of a sea change or a progression in terms of how the industry is responding to LGBTQ? Or do you still think there's like a lot to kind of progress to make in that respect?
I think it really depends on the project. I mean, I think I always kind of think not all jobs are created equal. Not all shows are the same. So like certain shows just put a lot of care into all of their characters. So all of their characters are completely fleshed out. And when there happens to be an LGBTQ character, it feels organic and it feels like they belong in the world. Other shows, they're really trying, and you can see that they're really trying. And like that is, I give them props for that as well. At least they're trying. I think there's a lot. I think there's a little bit more of I've noticed for me, a little bit more of an opportunity to audition for roles that are not specifically LGBTQ, and then just me being me, bring that into, because I don't think the character that I play, the character I play in Only Murders in the Building had no sexuality on the page, was really just into his cats, was really just into a very odd man.
You do it so well.
Oh, thank you. But really, I think that and then we've never talked about, I mean, in the whole series, we've never talked about his sexuality, but it's very clear because of who I am and how I sound and what I transmit, that he is gay. And that's like that's the dream, is obviously to play gay characters who are so much more. And that's not, but it's changing. It's changing, and, ebbs and flows.
Well, the example that you just gave is amazing. So yes.
Chanel. Yeah. You said something about growing up the way you did, you have, and that I sort of wanted to tap into that. Like, what did you mean by that? What did you mean by that?
I started crying.
How did you grow up? I had to know.
No, I grew up very Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I grew up with a single mother who was very young, 3 aunts and a grandmother who took care of me, sort of always wanting to be good and do the right thing and be good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that sort of afraid to, for a long time, afraid to be found out as being gay, like that fear. So like I functioned for many, many years and well into adulthood, probably still at a very high level of anxiety that I didn't even know was there, just because I constantly, my whole life was like, like I want to do the right thing, and not very free, I would say, you know.
Yeah.
But luckily, as I got older and started therapy and all of that stuff, it seems like I'm a little bit, a little less anxious. Still pretty anxious, but yeah, but there's a sense of like wanting to do the right thing and wanting to please people, sort of wanting to, you know, be the good guy.
For those folks that you mentioned in terms of your single parent and the other folks that constitute your life or your family, are they proud of you now, or is there been?
They've always been really supportive and proud. Less so some of them less so about the gay stuff, but that has actually gotten so much better in the past few years. My mom is just the best and has always been supportive. My aunts, like, they've always been really, really supportive, but that doesn't stop the fact that I wanted to, you know, please everybody and be good. Like, it was never enough. Not their, I don't know that was their thing that they put on me. It was just what I got, you know, what I did growing up, you know?
Yeah. I feel like you just paralleled a bit of what I know about Christian's life. Like, it's very interesting, the parallel, and not that he would even know, but he is the person that's good. You know, it's like that to me is sort of you take charge in a way in your household, especially with the single mom, the sister, large Catholic family, you know, coming out late in life.
It's interesting. The baby shower, and the reason I put that song together was for my other gay cousin Peter, who's married to this other guy Patrick, and they're about to have a baby through surrogacy, and
amazing.
They had a virtual baby shower. My mom's the eldest of 12 Irish Catholic. She has 11 siblings. It was all of them. Many of my cousins, like over 50 people on Zoom.
Wow.
What was like so remarkable was to hear, like, they are like Ralph Lauren gays, like they're like aspirational, like they look amazing.
Right.
Jobs, they're doing amazing things, they're gonna have a baby. Like, super big gays, you know.
Yeah. The ones that get the baby. The ones that get
amazing. So anyway, but I'm really proud of them because Peter's like really trailblazing through like my family, and I was really proud of how my family showed up. My mom and her sisters created this really cool Zoom baby shower, and they created space for the folks the two daddies to be to kind of explain the process. You could just see like people like wrapping their heads around things, and but people showed up, and that was, to me, like really made a big impression and really did impact kind of my relationship to myself, my family, and like everything else. So yeah, your story
was huge. That's huge. 11 or 50 people in Irish Catholic gay showers on Zoom. That's what they like knew how to get on Zoom. I knew a little bit of your story because of you when we met at the Christmas party. The last party I'll ever go to, and the only reason literally it was our friend Katina Correa's party, and the only reason I went is because, one, I love her and I want to see her new place, and it was the only holiday thing I would do, but also she was like, it's going to be 8 people. And I was like, okay, 8 people. I like did the math. It was like not too bad. Literally, it was the weekend when everybody went out and got sick, but we were just with 8 people and we did okay. But you had on the Rowing Blazers sweater with the all the white sheep and the little black sheep. You're like, my mom always says, do you get it? Right?
It always does. You get it? He's the black sheep. It's just like, it's making it hard to wear the sweater around you, mama.
Yeah. Wasn't that so nice though? That was such a nice party. I so loved meeting Christian because
I loved meeting you too, and everything else. And I remember just remarking on like the sock game was particularly strong with you, Mike. Like you had some really awesome socks on, and I know that Katina like warned us all, you're going to have to take your shoes off, and what a difference that made. Like people showed up with some like their sock game was like really like
no dirty ass rusted little sockies. We actually, my husband and I were like, that was just the most fun. It was like first of all, 8 people. You got a chance to talk to everybody.
Yes.
All the conversations were good. It was like the last party before we all withered away again.
We all locked down again.
Yes.
It's true. It was true.
Let me ask you this. Like, Shanali, our years are off to like a kind of stressful place. Like 2022, Michael, what are you most looking forward to? What do you want to do? You want to go on a vacation? Do you want to start knitting? What do you want to do?
I just want to stay healthy and be able to continue to work, and then take a vacation. Maybe that would be nice, but that's feels so far off. I really just want to stay healthy and I want to go out with my friends, and I want to go eat dinner inside and not be afraid. And I'm like hyper vigilant probably, but like I want to go see. I mean, I'm probably going to see a play this weekend with like 2 masks on. I want to be going to see theater. I want to do all the things that why I love New York. And and I know it will happen and I know it's coming, but it's like, it's just annoying. It's more than annoying. It's more than annoying, obviously, but
it's more than annoying. Exactly. Because we've all been in these little pockets together. I mean, I was with Michael at Katina's wedding. That was another pocket that we had a safe time, but we were so stressed out. Like, we've been in these little pockets. We're like, okay, I think we're good, but the added weight of really not knowing.
Well, right. Well, I had just come from Provincetown, where we went on our first vacation, and it was the week after the 4th of July outbreak, and it was like we were there, and suddenly one by one, all of our friends started getting it. My husband and I did not, and it was why is this happening? There's no, like, it's like, that's what's so really hard, is like the start and stop of like, I think I know how to interact with people again, and I think I know how to enjoy myself again, and I think I know how to take the subway again, and then it's suddenly like, oh God, no, I don't. Now I have to stop.
I know.
It's very turkey jerky.
It is. We've all been beat down. It's like hard. Where do you start? Well, I have a question, because I noticed that you did post something about Louis Anderson on your Twitter.
I love him. He's so good.
I love him. And we've, definitely this year we've lost, and, not, but to like Ronnie Spector and Sidney Poitier and Meatloaf and Andre Leon Talley. Yeah, it's just like, but Louis Anderson, and I'm not to separate, they're all amazing people, but Louis Anderson is such a specific human in our space of comedy and acting, and being so beyond, I mean, just so unique as a human, I think. And you posted something. I didn't even know whose book that was from, but
it was something someone else posted. Something someone else posted, and it was Casey Wilson's book about him being at a party with her and just sitting down next to her and being like, I'm such a fan, like, and saying it like honestly, genuinely, and just going on. And then somehow it came up that she had lost her mother, and there was some like really beautiful moment where he goes, well, this is for her or something. And it was just like it was just this like little story that she told about meeting him at a party and how kind he was and how genuine he was. And I was like, oh, let's be more like that, please. Like, I would like to be more like that,
Yes.
So that was touching to me.
Yes, it is touching. And I feel like that performance in Baskets is so touching. There are so many moments where I want to cry with Christine,
Yeah, perfect performance. Like, and incredible that at least before he passed, he got that sort of recognition for that role.
Yes. Well, we're going to see your amazing performances soon again, because you've been taping the second season of Only Murders, right?
Yes, I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but I am.
What the heck? See, Shanali always does that, Michael. We're going to end the show. Don't worry, we're going to edit it out. It's cool.
If you're edited out,
no, you don't have to edit it out.
Okay.
I am hopping in and out. I don't know what I'm doing, how much I'm doing, but yes, I am working on that. That's very exciting.
Yeah, we don't know that show.
And I know you can.
The exciting thing about that show is that we don't know. We don't know, and we don't even know what's going to happen. I can't wait to see the second season.
Yeah, nobody knows what happens. They don't tell anybody anything.
Know. No, we don't know. I did, I'm friends with you, and we're also friends, with Amy Ryan, and she
Yeah.
didn't tell me anything. I just would know about her taping, so I would hear about her being alone in a hallway and being like, I'm stressed out about COVID, and, you can't talk, like you just said, to everyone because
Yeah.
you're masked and like standing apart. And so I just heard about sort of the difficulties. I had no idea the project would turn out so amazing,
Yeah, well, I would say, I mean, yes, there were the difficulties of like just the COVID stuff, but it is the nicest, kindest group of people. And when I say like a group of people who really care about the characters, like they really put thought into every single person, whether it be the tiniest role to the largest role. I feel like it's just like it's like a job of a lifetime, the dream job, the nicest.
It feels like an ensemble. It does really feel like a true ensemble. And you're right. It feels like there are no true small parts. There was a scene where Martin Short was dealing with like fans at the podcast or something, and
oh yeah,
watching them, there were some day players. I actually knew some of them from like prior like stuff, and like it was just so cool to see who they cast in those roles, number one, and also just it did feel very like integrated, and that's cool, and that's a credit to who they chose to be on the show, like you. And
yeah, and it goes from like the top down too. Like the showrunner is just a great person, a great writer, and all of the great things that he, a person who runs a show should be. But he's a good person. And
what's his name?
John Hoffman.
Okay.
And he's great, and like just the whole crew is great. From like everybody's just great on there. It's really pleasant.
That's
like
awesome.
It's like like I said, not all jobs are created equal. That job is like you go to work and it's just easy. I mean, it's hard work, but it's easy and happy and nice, and I feel like it's a dream job.
That's the dream. That's the dream. You're living the dream, my friend. You are living the dream.
Yes.
And
it's going to be my dream when we can all get together again and
I know
whatever we want in it and wear
pull
some
out our nice socks.
And exactly.
Yes.
Thanks for being on our show.
So much.
Oh, it was so great. It was so great. I'm so happy to see both of you. I can't wait to see you in person.
I can't wait to see you in person again too. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be seeing you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Aww.
Well, I mean, one thing's for sure. Your 2022 is already looking better for you.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it is. It's like I got through a hump. I don't want another one. That's it. It's looking better. You're looking good, Christian. Glasses, no glasses. You're a sight for sore eyes. That's also helpful. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I will take what I think is a compliment. I'll take what I think is a compliment. And on that note, we don't need to deconstruct it. You don't need to qualify it. Let's leave that where it is. I appreciate you, Chanel. On a 99th show, she still will give me compliments that I kind of, are they? Well, tune into our next show.
Well, let's bring Justin in. Let's bring Justin in. He doesn't have to weigh in. We'll just bring him in because we are celebrating our 99th show. It's a historic moment. Woo! It's 2022. And, I just wanted to ask everyone that is watching or listening, feel free to let us know what you think we should do for our 100th episode. We are thinking of doing something outside the box, something different. But, since we've been in our homes for 2 years, we need help. So let's do that. Let's thank our wonderful guest, Subhah Agarwal. Check her out online on her socials. She does live comedy here in New York and LA, all over the country. And Justin, the intern, check out his work at Four Wind Films. Amazing films. He did a documentary series on our friend Marcellus Hall. I got to see it last month. It's so good.
It is very good. Very solid.
It's so project. Cool. You should check that out.
Thank you.
Beyond solid. Superb. Phenomenal.
And then Michael Cyril Creighton, we just got to talk to him. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us, to laugh with us, to share with us. and Christian Felix, my dear friend, for a long time, for 99 months
and counting. No parole in sight.
99 bottles on the wall, 99 episodes on the shelf. We did it. We did it. Well, Happy New Year, you guys. Love you so much.
Peace out. Enjoy yourselves.
Peace out. Happy New Year. Love you guys. Thanks for watching us. Bye.